Ken Campbell is the CEO of New Schools Baton Rouge. He's been in this education space for a long time. I haven't run into him in a while. I told him I got to get him on TV just so we can have a conversation. Friend of mine for all these
Yes,
years.
Sir.
How's it going, brother?
It's going well. It's going well, man.
Man, you've been at New Schools how long now?
Just about a year.
Just
right
about
a year. Yeah.
You're doing Teach 225.
Yeah.
Your career fair. Tell me about Teach 225.
Yeah, so Teach 225 is part of what we do, right? And it's an important part because one of the things we know makes a difference in the life of a child is a great teacher.
Yeah.
We all have heard about, teacher shortages. We have more and more people who are out there figuring out what works for them. And we're increasingly hoping that people will look at teaching and find it something that is rewarding and also something where you can make a good living and take care of yourself and your family. And so we have this career fair, an opportunity for people to come together, meet schools, talk to them about what they do, and see if they might be interested in teaching. We think we have great programs to prepare folks who want to teach in this city, and also programs for people who teach and say, I might want to go to Baton Rouge. So we're excited about this event. It's going to be February 28th at La B. So kind of right there in downtown Baton Rouge from 4 to 6. But we expect probably at least a couple 300 people to come out and see if they want to kick the tires and become a teacher.
Man, that's fantastic, and that's next Tuesday.
It's next Tuesday, and it's for everybody. So while we work a lot with charter schools and bring great charter schools to this city, like it's really something that we focus on. The teacher shortage affects us across the board, and so if people want to teach in traditional public schools, charter schools, even the archdiocese, like we just want people to come out, learn more about teaching, and maybe impact the life of a child in a way that you never really expected to.
Our next segment is going to be with Ochsner, Baton Rouge Ochsner Discovery Schools, opening a campus here this fall. And it's interesting, all the charters that are being planted in East Baton Rouge Parish. And it's fascinating. You've got the Helix portfolio. And then, Ochsner Collegiate is here, Basis is here. Why has Baton Rouge become so attractive to organizations that start these schools?
I think for a couple of reasons. Number one is it's a city that you can make a difference in, right? Baton Rouge is not as big as, a Houston or a Dallas or some of these other places. And so people who want to get into this and really make a difference in the life of a child, Baton Rouge is a place to do it. You could affect generations and really transform their lives in a short period of time. And I think that's one thing that's attractive. The second thing is I think we have parents who continue when we open schools to want to come, who want to experience them, who believe in the promise that things could be a little bit better or a little bit different for their kids. And so schools like, Baton Rouge Ochsner Discovery is going to be critical. I mean, it is partnership with Ochsner, right? So you have an opportunity for Ochsner, kids to go, which is really exciting. And then kids in general to get advantage of an education that's been offered in Kenner, where the first Discovery School is, wildly successful. And so we're excited about having them in Baton Rouge to bring them here. And we're always going to try to bring something new and better for parents. Like that's part of what we do.
I don't think I need to have Charles and Trey on now after the way you just gave that description. But let's talk a little bit about the schools nowadays. I had someone on a few weeks ago, and she talked about, she's the principal at Lanier Elementary, and talked about how much more teachers are required to do now versus say 25, 30 years ago. You wear multiple hats. And going into the profession, you've got to know that. Let's talk a little bit about what that is, and then I've got a follow-up question to that.
So the first thing I think is, yes, we are asking teachers to do a lot more. I think there are some networks and some schools that are wondering if there are better ways to be able to resolve some of the issues that teachers have to take on now. I believe that at the end of the day, what I need teachers to do is come in and teach like a rock star for 4, 5, or 6 periods a day, whatever that is. And we have to give more capacity to schools and families to make that teaching job a little bit easier, right? So if we have teachers that are responsible for attendance, right, which some are, like I got to get babies here, like I feel like there are other ways for us to be able to do that so that the teacher could focus more on teaching. It's not an easy profession by any stretch. But I think it is, again, one of the most rewarding that you could undertake.
And it's one of the most essential professions to the direction of any community. Teachers are as essential as police officers, doctors, nurses. I mean, they just are.
They just are.
I don't think, the politics ruins so much.
Politics ruins so much. And then pandemic. I mean, we also got to think, like, we talk a lot about the effect of the pandemic on, kids and families. It was hard on teachers, man. We asked them to do stuff that they never signed up for, right? And they did it with grace, but they're also tired. They're dealing with mental health stuff. We got to be able to support them more.
Teach 225, February 28th at La B. Ken Campbell with New Schools Baton Rouge. Back in just a moment.